Well, I started working here on this door and all this stuff that goes in here. I cut this cross member out of here, pulled it up here to the front. This all welded pretty good. I haven't finished it, so I got a straight place. I want to make a couple square plugs, one for here and one for over there. I put some little brackets up here. I bent this. You can see that it's bent longwise, and it's also bent up and down. I just took a hammer and a board and started bending. You can see I got about 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around there. I got this to where it's all sticking out over the edge of the door a little bit. I got the door clamped shut, so we're all good there. And if I just take the roof to this edge and weld it, the water's gonna, well, it'll be on the outside of the door, so it'll just run off here. Hopefully I may put a rain gutter in there later. This said front, but it was interfering, so now I'm trying to get this piece. Now this has got to go up in there behind the edge of that door, right like this somehow, and it's interfering over here. I'm going to have to cut this edge out of here. Not exactly sure what I'll cut yet, but that's the plan. Get this to fit in here, tack it to the cowl, and get it to clear all this door stuff. So do a little cutting and measuring. We'll come back, take another look at it. Well, after a whole lot of cutting and trimming, I think that's about as good as I can get it. I've had to pick some place, so I tried to pick this door edge. That's what's going to look, or what we're going to see. Look like I can move this towards the outside just a little. Yeah, that's pretty close right there. And I had to cut nearly all the brace out of the inside. This is a curve. I was able to kind of save that a little. But I can tack it right here to the windshield, the frame. This is gonna leave me pretty good gap there. I could either, put a piece of round rod around it, or split it and pull it in. But it's actually not real bad. I can't really twist it back in any. I mean, I could, but it would close my gap up, and I'd just as soon try to keep that straight. This is all going to be, I'm a 1/4 inch out of away from the skin. So that is what it is. Might not be a bad idea to weld a round rod around here. Don't know what I'm going to do about the front. I had a little brace in here that was just holding it, but this is at least half an inch. Well, this half-inch stuff, so it's a quarter of an inch on the inside. It would probably be best just to cut this right same level as this bar here, and just weld another piece of square stock in it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just gonna have to do the best we can, try to save this piece, or just completely make another one, and it don't look like it would be that easy to do. I think that's good enough. But I got it in. Scored a lot of rust on the inside, but I can always take it off. It just clamped on right now, but I think that's pretty good. It's getting the general shape, and I can you know, fix this. And like I say, it'll look just like that back one there. Piece of round rod around there and kind of stitch welded across. It'll look fine. Kind of give it a little character. So that'll be good for that corner. And now I know what I have to cut off of that plate. I can go over to the other one and do the same with it. And we'll take a look and see what I got to do on it. Well, there's both cowl pieces welded on. Got a bit of a gap in this one. Looks like my bar is going to be right at the top of that weld. This one I forgot, I already cut it up. And bar's just a little above that weld. Don't look too bad here. I got a lot of lead on it, but my gap not too bad. I couldn't get it any smaller than this. I figured I could fill that up with Bondo or something. I've got it welded in 2 or 3 places. It's actually really strong, surprisingly. I got them both rust converted inside. This one, where I cut it off, it's running right flush with the 1-inch piece, and over there it's running off about a quarter. So whether I got this door off a quarter, I don't know, but this was the one that was all chopped up. So, but I got a nice gap in here. I haven't welded it on the inside. I just tacked it on, so it's still moving around. But that's not bad. I'll measure down from here on both sides and get this corner of this piece the same height and the same distance from the frame, and I'll probably, not sure what I'll do there. Whether I take this 1/2 inch piece over here and then straight across. You know, if I take it I can actually bend that square bar and give it a pretty good curve through there. Weld that in, and that would automatically give me my visor. I don't know if I want to do that, or because the edge of the roof is going to be coming out here, and I'm going to have some kind of a curve or a sharp angle there or something. I'll have to think about that a little bit. But anyway, there's the front end, front of the A-pillars. They're matching the doors good. I can finish welding this up, and that'll let me finish mocking up how I'm gonna do the front of this roof, and I'll press on. I started kind of trying to mock up this roof. Here's a piece that I cut off, or that was on that roof. It looks like it's gonna be able to bend and clamp down onto this 1/2 inch piece. Of course, I've got it, and this one is clamped right at the edge, and that's where I'm going to weld it, right on the upper edge. This is kind of flat across here. I got it roughly lined up. I'm going to have to do something right here where it's sticking out a little. And
maybe I'll have to put gas in that thing.
yeah, I had to go put gas in the lawnmower. Anyway, I can try to move on this. Just see what I can do. I haven't decided whether I put a curved roof in it or flat braces or what, but that'll be a deal for another day. Well, here took a little doing. I put 1/2 inch pieces in here. These are got a curve to them of 1/2 inch across it. I put this one in here. I used another brace onto that one there. It's actually looks crooked because it is crooked. When it was straightened together, when I had to cut it, I spread the back of the body open, and that of course gave me that little angle there. But anyway, this is flush. These edges are flush here with the top of the frame. Why we're not focusing. And it raises 1/2 inch in the middle. Same on both of these braces. And that one there's flush, and this back one's flush. So it's It's going to come up and have a little bit of an angle to it, a little bit of roundness just to shed the water. And it's all in real good and strong now. We've got that one bar right through the middle. It's welded into this big brace here. I'll probably go back here and tack it some more. But I need to grind up some of these wells. And I've got a good flush piece there that I can tack the roof to. I may just cut it and try to make it in 2 pieces. I'm not sure what I'll do. Whether I'll put this back piece in as one, and then this middle piece is another, and then the front. I don't know what I'll do. But I've got the frame all fabricated. It's braced good in here. I've got my I need to put one more brace right in here. My door piece is still moving around a little. Right in here. I need to put another little brace in there. This is all good and solid. It's not going anywhere. The door closes good. I got about a 1/8 of an inch gap all the way down it. I got the curve to this outside piece. It's a little bigger than the door, so the water will run off. I'll still have to figure out something to do with this front. This one I'll let this bar just go on out. In fact, it's welded in there. Well, maybe not. But I probably ought to just cut it right here and bring it into the shape of this thing, and do on both sides, and then run one more square bar across here. That way I can bring this down and over. Don't know what I'll do, but I did know I needed to get this door roof skin braced up. It's going to still take some doing, but at least I got something that's symmetrical that I can go to. So we'll figure out what to do next, and I'll bring you back. Well, moving on here, I got this top brace done. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get this body all straight mounted, because I moved it out so far. My brackets really weren't any good. They were kind of small to start with. That's all the angle iron I had, but I put another 3-inch piece in here, which spaced it out good. I can cut that off and weld it really good into the frame. But for now, it raised the whole body 1/4 of an inch. Maybe a little less. So I put 4 of them in there, and I'll also have to do a couple more there in the back, because this body cage is pretty strong. It's not really connected between the bottom there and up here to the top, other than through the skin. So we got a couple feet of skin right in here. this not letting it, or it's letting it flex a little. I'll have to fix that, of course. Not exactly sure how yet, but probably just some kind of a brace from there at the bottom up to this black brace I got there, and probably one from the top. If I put a triangle in there, that'll make that all pretty good. But anyway, at this point, I'm trying to get this cowl on. It's not, you can see over there, it's kind of off to the side of the frame. Here it's to the inside, there's to the outside. I clamped a couple 1-inch pieces on here, and the frame rails are running right. I got 7 1/8 on this one and 7 inches on the other. So the frame rails are 1/8 off is all. But what happens is this cowl skin definitely moves around. You can see it's tweaking the whole door. So I got to get this cowl skin mounted in here, get it centered. You know, it is welded right now. You know, this joint right here against this door frame. So I don't have it welded up here in the top yet. Well, it's kind of onto this plate, so it sort of is. But anyway, I need to get this out and mount it a little better from my bracket, which I don't know, the bracket just bolts on, so it could be anywhere. I got about 4.5 inches. I can see this one's twisted out. I got about 3.5 on this one. So I got to move this driver's side in about 1/2 inch. I can see it's got a twist in it. See, this is pointed out away from the frame, and that one's kind of straight with the frame. But that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to get this cowl tweaked around and straight on the body, and then I can run my braces around in here for the firewall, brakes and stuff, and press on. Well, there's part of the problem. This is bent. I got these brackets off of here, and I actually used a crowbar and straightened them out a little bit, but bolts come out all right. But I think this one here was in the back. Going back there somewhere. Anyway, I'm probably not going to use these. So I'm going to beat this out flat and see what I can do. I can tell this hole was just bored in there, so It's not a factory bolt hole. So, but now it's looking pretty good. I've got like maybe half an inch here to the outside of the cowl from the frame. I've still got my bar here to measure in with, so you know this will all wiggle around a little, but will be good enough. Let me get that straight and see what I can do about mounting it. I did a lot of playing with this. If I lock this corner 1 inch off the frame and 3/8 inch up from that bracket, I can't get a 3/8 under it over there. It's about 3/8 too low. And I can probably get a little more out of. Actually, I might be able to do that. So, looks like I can bend this out and up. And what that's going to do to my doors and stuff. But that'll make it straight. I didn't think I could do it there. But I'll get that done. Raise this up 3/8 and move it out another ½ inch or so, and that should give me the bottom of this cowl will be sitting on the frame, and then I can make a mount for that. Find out where it's putting the stress at. I think I'll be good though. Anyway, got a lot done. This will finish up what I need to do so I can start welding up the brace. Once I get this space right and clamped in, you know, probably what I need to do is cut this door loose right here, this skin. That'll let it flex, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to beat it into submission, as Rod Bob says. We'll get that thing mounted in there. I started playing with that transmission. I couldn't get it to shift or come out of gear, and I got some vice grips on the tail shaft and it's moving, but looks like the shifter arm itself is kind of stripped onto the transmission. It's got a little clamp set up there. I think I've got a good one there. So I'll just pull that one off of there. And I also got a speedometer gear I got to pull out of it, but I think it's stuck in park. I do have to pull that thing apart. I may just pull this one apart to kind of get a little practice. Anyway, it looks pretty good right now. That little curve in the roof is gonna be just a subtle little bit. So, moving along. At least I got the roof done today, or at least the inner bracing, and getting close to the cowl. So like and subscribe, guys. I'll come back tomorrow with some more fighting of this thing. Well, here's the first step done. I welded a bolt to the frame, and I welded this little cut-off piece of 1-inch pipe on it with a washer, so I can put my rubber in there. And now I can just throw a bolt on that. I've got this what I'm showing you here, nylock lock nut on both sides, and it's solid. It ain't moving at all, not flexing even a little bit. Well, maybe just a little right here, but that's 10. And now the cowl itself, though, is super strong, super solid. These yeah, even the frame is better. Nothing's doors bouncing around a little is all. Looks like my door sunk a little. I need to do something with that. I should have waited to put that latch in until it was all done. I didn't, though. It served its purpose. It held the door closed while I welded up the rest of it. This roof looks really good. Got a nice curve across there, front and back. And it's not so much that it won't transition into a flat place. Looks like this bar is not quite parallel. Oh well. Close enough. Now I can get in here. Just ran out of wire. And weld up something. I have to go get some more, but I use this big spool up. I don't know what size it is. £11. Probably be better off to do that. Well, I got some more wire. This is 40 30,000ths. So on a 5-6 compared to this P3 stuff, ER70S6. Well, it says it's the same. 5 kilos. This was like $50. I don't think this was as much. We'll give it a try. And this is 5 kilograms. This is 4.5, and it costs more. We'll find out. Well, this is all pretty solid now, except for this this bottom piece. And of course I don't have my brace bolted back there. I think this probably raised it up a little bit. I just guessed on these. If I have to trim it, I'll trim it down. But I think I'm gonna had a plan on putting a piece of pipe in here. And I think that's what I'll do. I've got quite a bit of bad metal that's got to be cut off, but this is definitely flexing. I need to tie it into that 2-inch piece there. So see if I can round up some pipe, and I'll do the 2 bottoms of these things. Now there's that pipe welded in there, and I cut out the rust and made a little patch. Kind of welded it up, ground some of it down. I have a few little holes left in it, but it's basically good. I'm gonna cut me some kind of a plug or something for that open end there. But basically that pipe is welded into the door frame, and it's welded good along that body seam. Now I can bring my 1/2-inch square tubing now that's up inside the cowl down to that, weld that on, and that'll make that whole frame there really strong. Piece of rod pipe is quite strong. So moving along, now I'll go over there and cut the other one out and do the same thing. Here's the driver's side. I'm going to do the same treatment. I'm going to whack this off right there at the edge. I've got this piece of pipe. I think this was one that was left over from the Dodge tailgate. I welded up some holes here in this frame. I don't know what I'll do there where that big hole, that's where the steering box was. I decided here on this plate, I tried to take it out, or took a look at it. It's got an old piece of rubber behind it, and this is how they mounted an old cross member in there. But part of it's been boxed, so I can't get to the nuts. So what I think I'm going to do, just leave it and put a plate in here. I just weld the plate to this plate and the frame, and let it go. I'd like to take that rubber out of there, but I spent quite a while trying to figure out how to get it out, and I'll have to cut up part of what they did. I don't really want to mess with it, so I'll just weld a plate in it, and eventually if somebody wants to take that out, they can take a torch or something to it and cut it out. But I just tightened up everything I could. It's got 2 screws here. I could weld something to those and get them out. But I just don't want to mess with it. I'm just going to weld another plate on it and be done with it and move on. I could spend forever on this car. You can see over there on the other side that patch looks pretty good. Just going to move a little faster now. There's that one. I haven't, I'm going to split that end right there, pound it down and make it flush with that square bar. I just took it straight across here, welded it in good, and then I went to the inside and made up my braces. there's this one. The cowl was different one side to the other. You kind of see under that brace there's a rusty looking piece. That was some kind of reinforcement. This one, it didn't have it. So I just welded this 1-inch piece in there and glurped it good to the thing, and I put a 1/2-inch piece in there that's welded up into this, and then I dropped it down again with another 1-inch piece, and I welded that pretty strong onto the pipe. This one's a little different. I had to go above that brace, and I hooked it right into the bottom of the rebar, brought it over, and then I used a 1/2-inch piece of rebar to tie it into the pipe, and it's also welded up and down into the skin. So they look a little different. They are a little different, but they're super solid. I tried moving even up here on top. I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting any flex. Maybe just a little bit in the back, but no flex anywhere else. That's this whole front piece now is solid. It's welded pretty strong into this whole frame that goes across the windshield. This is a pretty good sized plate. It's still in decent shape, and it's welded into that pretty strong. But this is most of all, this windshield bracing is 1 inch, and now I'm still gonna run another piece up in here. I don't know whether I'm gonna, these brackets are, I think, supposed to hold the dash. I'm not sure. It's what they look like they're for, and they look stock, or at least awfully old, rusty. So I'm going to try to put the dash in there. I think what I would like to do is run a 1-inch piece all the way across the top, and at least a 1/2-inch piece down to these other 2 quarters here. These two rusty square tube that's coming up. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to run something from the front back here to the door. I've got quite a bit of steel, but I'd like to run something like this in there. I will do that. Maybe I'll just run one piece across here, and then put one piece on each side on the top here, and then just tie it to this together with a 1/2 inch. That's what I'll do. I'll run a big piece all the way across, tie that to the corners, and then use a 1/2-inch piece, which is almost the same size as this. I'll just run that up in here, And that should tie that everything really solid. And I can just tack it every inch or something onto that firewall. That'll make it super strong. Anyway, it's coming along good. I guess I'll hang my dash up in here and see what I got to do to fix it. Well, I got a couple choices. One, if I put it in on the brackets, it'll go way in here. Sits below this thing. I can raise it up. You know, it's just hanging on them brackets. There's nothing really that it bolts to. But it looks awfully low. The other choice, I can put it up on top. And there I got it sitting up on top of the dash. Ouch, I keep banging my head on this thing. I think that'll kind of be better. Still sits way in there. Oops, I'm gonna drop the whole thing. You can see if this is vertical. I think that's better. It goes in 4 inches away from the edge of the door. You can barely see the instruments. Let me hang it back on this. If I hang it back on that bracket, you know, I'm 6 inch. It's moved it in 2 inches over being flush. So don't know where I'm going to put that. I think it's too low, really, because this is not going to have a lot of headroom in it. Right now I'm sitting right on the floor, and I only got you know, you can see where I'm at here. I got as much as my hand, probably 8 inches of headroom before I'm banging into this thing. So probably I'm going to be setting about 6 inches off this floor. Let me see if I can get a box or something and put in here. Well, that's all the headroom I got. That's probably about 8 inches. Got lots of leg room. This thing is gonna have plenty of room here. You can see my legs are stretched out completely and aren't even. I'm nowhere near the firewall. The dash is, you know, here's arm's length away. Here's my thing. I've only got about 2 or 3 inches of headroom right now. If I raise up in the seat, I could hit the I could hit the roof with my head. Almost. But looking down, this is the view out of the window. I'll be able to see these gauges, but I need to raise that dash up as high as I can there. So that answered that question. It's a pretty good reach. Of course, I got enough room in this thing to put a back seat. There's a lot of room back here. And my back is in front of the door. Oh, I don't know, 1.5 feet. I could put some super comfortable seats. That's what I ought to do is excuse me. I'm the width of a camera. This is width of a camera above my head right now. Not much. It's gonna, but I could put some, you could lay down in this thing and go to sleep. I mean, seriously. There's plenty of room to, you can see how much, that's where I was sitting. You could lay down flat in this thing and have a nap. You know, it might be worth thinking about getting some seats that will lay down flat. You can sleep in this. And it's kind of big, actually. We're a long ways off the ground, but I'm not going to be cramped up in there with little boat seats. But anyway, my question got answered. I can see the gauges, and I'll just put that dash up in there as tight as I can against this. And I got like 6 holes there in the middle of it. And I'll just make some kind of bracket for that. I don't think those mounts that are in there are really doing me any good. I just make new ones. And looking down through here to where the steering column is going to be going, I need to get this dash up as high as I can, so an inch, 2 inches here will make a difference, because I've got to go all the way up over that front motor mount. I'm still going to have to use probably 3 Heim joints, but I can put a nice column in here. Anyway, starting to look at the details of a car now.